You chased it for years. The promotion, the degree, the goal weight, the dream you poured yourself into, and then you got it. The moment you'd been working toward finally arrived. And after the first rush, you felt something you never expected. A strange flatness, an emptiness, a quiet voice asking, "Is that it?" Instead of lasting joy, there was a hollow feeling, maybe even a little sadness. Why does reaching a goal we worked so hard for so often feel disappointing? The answer is hidden in the chemistry of motivation itself, and once you understand it, it changes how you think about happiness entirely. The key player here is a brain chemical called dopamine, and almost everyone misunderstands what it does. We tend to think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, the reward you feel when you get something good. But that's not quite right. Dopamine is much more about wanting than about having. It's the chemical of anticipation, of pursuit, of the chase. Dopamine spikes not when you achieve the goal, but in the striving toward it, in the wanting, in the anticipation of the reward to come. It's what drives you forward, what keeps you pushing, what makes the pursuit feel meaningful and energizing. And the consequence is everything. Dopamine fires most powerfully during the chase, not at the moment of arrival. While you're working toward the goal, imagining it, getting closer, your brain is flooded with the motivating, almost pleasurable drive of pursuit. But the moment you actually achieve it, that drive has nowhere left to go. The wanting is over. The anticipation collapses, and the brain, which was lit up with the chemistry of pursuit, goes quiet. The very thing that made the journey feel so alive switches off precisely when you reach the destination. You arrive, and the engine that powered you here simply turns off. This is sometimes called the arrival fallacy, the mistaken belief that reaching the goal will bring lasting happiness. We're convinced, deep down, that when we finally get there, when we achieve the thing, we'll feel happy and fulfilled, and that the feeling will last. But it rarely works that way. The achievement brings a brief spike of satisfaction, and then we quickly return to roughly the same level of happiness we had before. The mountaintop we imagined would be transformative turns out to be just another patch of ground, with the view already fading as we stand on it. The happiness we were chasing was mostly in the chasing. There's a deeper mechanism beneath this called hedonic adaptation, and it governs much of human happiness. The basic principle is that we adjust remarkably quickly to whatever good things happen to us. A new achievement, a new possession, a new status brings a burst of pleasure, but then we adapt, the novelty wears off, and the new thing becomes our normal baseline. We get used to it, and once we've adapted, it no longer brings the joy it did at first, so we set our sights on the next thing, chasing the next high, on a treadmill that keeps moving, so we keep walking. This is why no achievement ever seems to deliver the lasting fulfillment we expected. We adapt to it and reach for more. You can see this everywhere once you recognize it. The promotion you were sure would make you happy becomes, within weeks, just your normal job, and you start eyeing the next rung. The thing you saved for and finally bought delights you for a while, then fades into the background of ordinary life. Even huge life changes that we're certain will transform our happiness tend, after the initial adjustment, to leave us roughly where we started. We are extraordinarily good at getting used to things, which is wonderful for adapting to hardship, but means the good things rarely stay as good as we imagined they would. So the emptiness after a goal makes complete sense. The dopamine-driven pursuit, which gave your days direction and meaning and drive, suddenly ends. The achievement, which you adapt to almost immediately, fails to deliver the lasting joy you expected. And often there's an added loss, because the goal gave your life structure and purpose, and now that it's accomplished, you're left without the thing that organized your time and effort and identity. The emptiness isn't a sign that you achieved the wrong thing or that something is wrong with you. It's the natural result of how motivation and happiness actually work in the brain. Understanding this can be genuinely liberating because it frees you from a lie you've probably been told your whole life. The lie that happiness lies in the next achievement, that you'll finally feel content when you reach the goal. Once you truly grasp that the goal won't deliver lasting happiness, that the joy is mostly in the pursuit, and that you'll adapt to whatever you achieve, you can stop staking your well-being on a destination that keeps failing to satisfy. You can stop treating the next accomplishment as the thing that will finally make you whole. That realization, oddly, is where a steadier kind of contentment begins. So where does lasting fulfillment actually come from, if not from achieving goals? Part of the answer is to shift your focus from the destination to the journey, to find meaning and enjoyment in the process of pursuit itself, rather than fixating on the moment of arrival. Since the dopamine and the aliveness are in the chasing, learning to savor the work, the growth, the daily progress is where much of the real satisfaction lives. The people who seem most fulfilled are often those who love the doing, who find purpose in the striving, not those who are obsessed with the having. Fall in love with the climb, because the summit, it turns out, is just a moment. Another part is learning to actually savor your achievements when they come, instead of rushing immediately to the next thing. Because we adapt so fast, the window of joy after an accomplishment is brief, and most of us blow right through it, already anxious about what's next, never pausing to feel what we worked so hard for. Slowing down to genuinely appreciate the achievement, to sit in it, to let it land, to acknowledge how far you've come, can extend that joy and counter the relentless pull of the treadmill. The achievement deserves a moment of real attention before you let it become your new normal. And the deepest part is recognizing that lasting fulfillment tends to come less from achievements and more from things that don't fade so easily. Relationships, connection, purpose, growth, gratitude, being present in your actual life. These don't work like goals on a treadmill. A deep relationship, a sense of meaning, a practice of noticing and appreciating what you have. These provide a steadier, more durable kind of well-being than any single accomplishment ever could. The achievements are fine, they have their place, but they were never going to carry the whole weight of your happiness, and it's a relief to stop asking them to. Next time you reach a goal you worked hard for and feel that unexpected emptiness instead of lasting joy, don't panic. And don't conclude that you chose wrong or that something's broken in you. You're simply meeting the truth about how motivation and happiness work. The dopamine was in the chase, and the chase is over. You'll adapt to the achievement faster than you imagined. The joy was always mostly in the becoming, not the arriving. So savor what you accomplished, then find your next worthy pursuit, not because reaching it will finally make you happy, but because the striving itself, done with the right people towards something that matters, is where the living actually happens. The finish line was never the point, the running was.